Hi guys, it's Mark Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, also known as Mark Zicree of Space Command, and I'm back from Duluth, Minnesota, in the Catalyst Content Festival, where we met with NBC and CBS and tons of other folks. Lots to tell you in the near future, I'm sure. But today, I just want to talk about a few little odds and ends, a couple of reviews of things. We went to see Gemini Man today. Now, those of you who know about Will Smith know that he stars in it as an older version of himself and a younger version of himself, who are on opposite sides of being assassins, essentially. And it's directed by Ang Lee, who did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is a film I like very much, which also has Michelle Yeoh in it, who's now, of course, part of Star Trek Discovery. What to talk about? Well, it's interesting. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a low rating from the critics, but 80-something percent, 85% from the audience. And well, let me just tell you where I stand on it. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. It's not a great movie, but here's the trick of it. There's two different versions you can see. One is the standard one in 2D, and then there's another one that's in 3D, but also it's in something called high frame rate. And that is, the standard movie speed is 24 frames a second. This is 120 frames a second. That's 120 frames a second, which means that in 3D, it's super, super, super crisp. Now, many people don't like that look. They feel it looks like video, and it does to a certain extent, but I liked it just because I did. And it's an action picture. It's got tons of stuff happening in it. Some of the twists and turns are a little bit obvious. It's not a breakthrough movie in that way, but it's very fun. Will Smith, of course, has made a number of very, very good movies, including, by my lights, I Am Legend, I, Robot, Hancock. Those are all films I enjoyed very much. And of course, Independence Day, which was, great, great film. And you could also say Men in Black, but I like that less. But so Gemini Man, the interesting thing also about that technologically is the 51-year-old assassin is played by the real Will Smith. And then there's the younger version, the 23-year-old version, who is entirely CG. It's Will Smith in performance capture but everything about the young one you see is totally CG. And I think that might have been a mistake, that they could have used youthifying CG effects like they did with Samuel Jackson in Captain Marvel, because you get a rather flattened affect, and it still looks good, but he doesn't have the subtle play of expressions and emotions that Will Smith would have if it were a performance of the actor rather than a CG animation. But still very interesting from a technical standpoint. It's a fun movie. The actress who starred in Alien Covenant here plays the love interest. And not exactly the love interest, because they really, it doesn't blossom into a full love affair thing. But she's very appealing in this, much more so than in Alien Covenant. But if you're going to go see this movie, definitely see it in high frame rate and 3D, because otherwise it'll be a fairly standard action movie. And Clive Owen is in it. Oddly enough, I saw him on stage in Night of the Iguana a couple weeks back in London, and so it's funny to see him in 3D on the stage, real as life, and then see him in this, real as life. There you go. So my advice, if you're a science fiction fan, because basically Will Smith plays an assassin who gets cloned, and the younger version of him is sent to kill him. And I'm not spoiling it, because that's in every trailer you'll see of this movie. So, but it's a good job. It's a good job. And so also, Elaine and I have been watching Better Than Us, which is a Russian science fiction television series that starts off really well. It's got very good actors, and the actress playing the lead robot is very beautiful, but also she manages an amazing immobility of features. So you start thinking of her as a robot and not a human being, to the point where later in the show, when people are thinking she's human, you're saying, well, how can they think that? She's obviously a robot. But the characters, as the show goes on, the main characters start doing things that are just dumb and not in keeping with who they've been set up to be. And it just has a lot of twists and turns. It's 16 episodes, and it should probably have been 8 for a season. And clearly they're also going into a second season. It has strengths, but it also has weaknesses. So, you can check it out, but don't assume that because it starts well, it will continue to be of that quality. Meantime, I'm watching The Expanse again. It really holds up well on a second viewing, and of course, season 4 is coming. I just read the most recent Expanse novel, and I always read several novels simultaneously. So I just finished a novel by Adrian Tchaikovsky, who's a very good writer. I'm reading a new book by Howard Rodman, whom I know. We both won the Writers Guild Diversity Award a couple of years ago, and he's written a novel in which Captain Ahab is pitted against Captain Nemo, which is a very fun conceit, and I've started reading it. I'm really enjoying it, and so I think it's called The Great Eastern, so you might want to check it out. I'll let you know as I continue reading it if it's continues to be really good, but so far so good. Meantime, we're still doing the crowdfunding campaign, the GoFundMe campaign to raise money to shoot Space Command. We're still selling investment shares, and so you can contact me. The information is all down there. And beyond that, we're working on visual effects and sound design and color correction, all sorts of stuff. We're about to release the next 11 minutes of the pilot, which I'm very pleased with, and that'll be coming very, very soon. We're going to be sending out the digital content to everyone who's waiting for it with a whole bunch of extras, and then we'll send out DVDs and Blu-rays after that. And by the way, though, if you've ordered those things, let us know if you still want a DVD or a Blu-ray, or if just direct digital download is what you use now, because obviously we don't want to send you things that you don't want or will not be watching. So that's some of it. Lots more to talk about very soon. I'm actively working on the Sweet Haven pilot. We're outlining it, Rockney O'Bannon and I. It's going very, very well, and we'll continue, checking in about that. I wrote a new scene for Space Command. Finished writing the radio play, and Elaine gave me notes. I have a couple things I have to tweak based on something Neil deGrasse Tyson told me in regards to the scientific underpinnings of it, and he's recommended someone I talked to. We've been emailing back and forth, and that's about it for now. So thanks for everything. Lots of adventures to come, and it's nice to be back home after all these travels. I've enjoyed the travels, but it's good to be home, and we'll be home, I think, for a little while. So until next time, it's Mark Zickery. Subscribe to Mr. Sci-Fi. If you haven't subscribed, click the little bell so you know when we post new ones, and definitely check out the Hour of the Pilot. We've posted just a few days ago, and the Nichelle Nichols scene we posted just a few days ago. Make sure the dates are recent so that you're watching the latest version. Sorry about this little cough, but it's been going around. And that's it for now. So we'll talk real soon, guys. Bye.